News Channel 5 on your side presents Kaleidoscope, focusing on people who make a difference in Northeast Ohio communities.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. The Director of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns, Jenna Tkaczyk, is here, and she's going to talk about the First and 10 program and other community activities around the Cleveland Browns. We're also going to hear what's going on in the newly transformed Greater University Circle neighborhood. Laura Kleinman is here to tell us all about University Circle and Uptown, as we call it. And on the broadcast after that, the program, the founder of Bessie's Angels, Tanya Perkins Stoudemire, and Danielle Green Welch of Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services will explain how they are helping young women who are aging out of the foster care system. Good day. Good to have you with us. I'm Leon Bibb, and this is Kaleidoscope, and we begin with our regulars here. Jenna Tkaczyk, Director of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns football team. Hey, Jenna.
Hi, Leon. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine. You guys are doing okay over at the ballpark?
We're doing good. You know, it could be better, but I think, you know, everyone's working hard behind the scenes, and we'll see what happens.
Well, it will be better. That's my prediction. But other than the guys on the football field, there is a lot that's going on in the Cleveland Browns organization. What's one of the things you're looking at as Director of Community Relations?
As Director of Community Relations, we're always focused on what we can do to improve the health and safety of the game of football from a youth football perspective, as well as really thinking about how we can get the dog pound, our fans, more engaged with giving back to help their community, whether that be right here in Northeast Ohio or throughout the nation. There's something that we can all be doing, and we just always want to have that conversation about helping others.
And you're dealing with high school kids. I know a lot of high school football.
Yes, high school football. Right now the playoffs are underway for, you know, those state championships that are just around the corner. And the Cleveland Browns, we have our very popular high school game of the week program, which is presented by PNC Bank. And during the week, the regular season, we are visiting each of those games. Fans can vote, and we've extended that coverage into the playoffs. So if you are, you know, looking to watch your team or see the highlights from those recent playoff games, you can guarantee that the Cleveland Browns will be on site covering those games. Only, though, if your school and your community votes for us to go out and cover that playoff game.
Oh, it's good to see the kids and the professionals getting together.
Exactly, exactly.
On football, all talking about football and other things as well.
Yes, yes. So we really, we have this online platform where fans, you know, high school football enthusiasts, you go online, and if you know your game is up for vote, you can vote. And I'm really proud to say that nearly 1 million votes have been cast in the local community for us to cover those specific high school football games. So if you're out there and you're in the playoff hunt, the Cleveland Browns might be on your, might be right there with you.
Here we go, high school football, here we go.
Yes,
right,
yes.
That's great. You've got a partnership, I know you've got something called the First and 10 Community Partnerships. Let's start with your partnership with the food bank.
The food bank, the Greater Cleveland Food Bank, they are a very, very valuable asset here in the local community. They provide hunger relief efforts for 6 different counties, and during our last home game, we had a couple things going on. We had an opportunity for the dog pound to be part of the First and 10 food drive, where fans can make a difference. Again, pledge to give 10 hours of community service, and you can help your community through our First and 10 platform. But fans showed up at our last home game, and we were able to collect 24,000 meals, or the equivalent of 24,000 meals, to give back to the local community in partnership with the Greater Cleveland Food Bank. I mean, hunger relief, we have Thanksgiving just around the corner, but that's something daily that the children, the elderly, families are struggling with, and, you know, we feel a very valuable responsibility and significant responsibility to help raise awareness for the Greater Cleveland Food Bank.
As you may know, I'm a veteran of the United States military, and when I was overseas or whenever even in this country, glad to do it. It was my duty. I would always look for that big sign that says USO, which helps military men and women in uniform at that time and even after uniform. You've got a partnership with the USO.
We do, we do. Locally with the USO of Northern Ohio, we work with them throughout the entire year. Right now, you know, we've just celebrated Veterans Day, and everyone's talking about military appreciation. That's exactly why I'm wearing this jacket today, is, you know, a constant reminder that the Cleveland Browns extend our appreciation to you and those who have served our country and those who can continue to serve. And the USO of Northern Ohio, they are one of our First and 10 community partners because they rely so much on volunteers to help out, to lend a hand, and for donations. And, you know, recently Coach Pettin opened up a closed practice you know, you're leading into, you know, a divisional game, and he opened up a closed practice for military guests to come out and have a meet and greet with the players following, because that's how important it is to the Cleveland Browns to just extend our appreciation, to say thank you, and do something more.
I love the jacket, too. It's a wonderful military jacket.
You know what, Leanne, I'm glad you brought up this jacket, because I know I wore it on purpose, because this is actually a piece of the Salute to Service gear that the NFL has out, you know, throughout the entire nation for all the teams, and 100% of the proceeds from the sales of these items, as well as through NFL auction, the funds are donated to 3 different charities that are directly aligned with the NFL platform. And since 2011, over $4.5 million has gone back to those charities, including the USO, the Pat Tillman Foundation, and the Wounded Warrior Project.
Well, if you could get a shot of that, if we can get a shot of
I'll
that
turn
right
a little bit
over there, a salute to service, really, NFL, the American flag. It's really nice.
Yeah, and you've probably seen a lot of the players, the coaches, you know, the front office. Everyone's wearing these. They're available at our team shop. So, you know, if you're interested in wearing it, you know, it makes a statement that, you know, we thank the men and women who serve our country, and, you know, again, it goes to charity.
First and 10 program for the holiday season.
The holidays are coming up, and I know you have some guests here later today to talk about the foster care program. And behind the scenes, the Cleveland Browns, we're not just pushing the First and 10 message for everyone to sign up and give 10 hours of community service in 1 year. It's something that we as an organization take very seriously, and we are going to be purchasing gifts for some of those children that you'll be hearing about a little bit later. But there's so many children out there that need support. So we just want to, again, raise the awareness for what you can do. We have players that are going to be coming out. We're going to be headed to the food bank for Thanksgiving. I know Channel 5 will be there with us.
We'll be there.
So we're really excited just to lend a hand, make a difference, create awareness. You know, Thanksgiving and the holidays, everyone's thinking about what you can do, thinking about your family, but also, you know, think about others.
Think about others.
There's opportunities, and visit our website, clevelandbrowns.com, and you can see some of those community partners that we do work with, and give some ideas on how to help out.
I'm down to my final 15 seconds.
15 seconds, no.
Helmets. Helmets.
Okay. Helmets, our helmets program. Register your school to be Heads Up certified. It's a very important certification. There's over 2,700 coaches and estimated right here in Northeast Ohio who are practicing the Heads Up football curriculum. We want you to get involved, and if your high school is registered and following the practices, you can win $25,000 worth of 5-star helmets for your team.
You can find all this information, clevelandbrowns.com/community. More information on everything we're talking about. Jenna Takancic, Director of Community Relations for the Cleveland Browns.
Yes.
She's calling the plays in community relations.
Behind the scenes, in the community. Only.
I'll take a break. We'll be right back in just a moment with more Kaleidoscope. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. You know, new buildings and businesses are dotting the landscape in what's called the Greater University Circle area and transforming the look and feel of that neighborhood. Laura Kleinman of University Circle Incorporated joins me now to tell us more about the transformation we see that's going on right now and what we can expect to see in the future. Hey, Laura.
Well, Leanne, it's very nice to be here. Thanks for having me. Should I jump in and continue to talk about that transformation?
You got all kinds of stuff going on at University Circle. Tell me about some of the things.
Yeah, we absolutely do. You know, for so long, University Circle has been home to some key, wonderful cultural institutions and museums, Case Western Reserve University and the hospital. But over the past several years, we've had a new boom in building with new housing, new businesses, expansion of some of our cultural institutions. RTA just made a big investment and put the new Red Line Rapid station right at the bottom of the hill of Little Italy. It's really exciting to see what's happening with that revitalization. Just about a 5-minute walk from Wade Oval and the cultural institutions.
You mentioned the museums there, and I'm told that there are more museums in one small area than any other place in the world.
It's true.
University Circle. By the way, it's my favorite place in all the world.
Well, thank you, Lamb. We see you there very often.
Drop me off in Uptown. Now, we brought the name back, Uptown. It's been around for generations, 100 years. But now we're hearing much more about Uptown.
Well, that's true. So there's a new development, a new mixed-use development specifically called Uptown on Euclid Avenue between Mayfield Road and about East 115th or so. Brand new building that the Marins and Case Western developed, new businesses, there's a bowling alley. MoCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art, is part of that Uptown area as well. And it's brought and breathed in really brand new life, you know, and energy into the area.
Now, your job as Vice President of Services for University Circle Incorporated, what does University Circle do? Are you kind of like the umbrella organization for representing much of what's happening in that part of the east side of Cleveland?
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment, Leon. We refer to ourselves as a community service corporation. We're responsible for development, service, and advocacy for the area, for University Circle. And I also like to say that when you see so much happening right now, we're really responsible for setting the table, so to speak. We're very interested in ensuring we have a safe, clean, attractive, vibrant community, really a complete neighborhood where there's 24/7 activity. And as we succeed in doing that, what you're seeing now is the private sector and even the nonprofit sector making additional investment. And this is where you see the housing and the new businesses.
For people who may not be aware, maybe they're visiting in town and in a hotel room looking, go to University Circle. You will have a wonderful, wonderful time. You've got the Art Museum, the Natural History Museum, Case Western Reserve University, MoCA, the Museum of Contemporary Art, and you've got, oh, and I know I've, the Botanical Gardens. You've got all of that in just one area. This is kind of, this has always been called like one of the cultural hubs of Northeast Ohio, isn't it?
It is. It's our Eds Meds district. University Circle is often referred to as, we've got 1 square mile. There are actually over 40 nonprofit organizations that call University Circle its home. So it really is a unique place in Northeast Ohio as well as around the world. You
try to bring in people year-round, not only in the spring and the summer, but the wintertime. And I know University Circle Incorporated always has something, a winter festival of some sort going on.
Yeah, we do. And if winter ever arrives, although, you know, we've enjoyed the weather this past week, we'll be opening up the city's only outdoor ice rink, our Wade Oval rink on Wade Oval, and we'll be opening up that the day after Thanksgiving. And then on December 6th, first Sunday in December, we'll be having our annual Holiday Circle Fest, where many of our museums and institutions open up from noon to 6 p.m. for free.
I talked to Chris Ronayne, president of University Circle Incorporated, all the time. We were always talking about University Circle. I want you to look into your crystal ball. There's a crystal ball right in front of you, and I want you to look in that crystal ball. What do you see in the future for University Circle?
We see more people living there. We see very active, vibrant communities, not only in University Circle, but the surrounding neighborhoods. You refer to it as Uptown. Some of it refer to it as Greater University Circle. It's Fairfax, Huff, Glenville, Little Italy. And we see more activity. We see families, people coming back to Cleveland and setting up home in all of these areas, and a very vibrant area where people can live, work, shop, play, you know, all within a very close area. And they can walk and they can ride their bike and they don't necessarily have to take their car everywhere.
You've got the Cleveland Institute of Art. It's all, though, I forgot them, but I want to get them in. And I'm certain there's a whole lot of others I'm not going to get in, but they're just wonderful, wonderful places. There are plans for a high-rise living quarters there, apartment unit there, high-rise, right there across the street from the Art Museum, right on Euclid Avenue. Tell me about those plans and how they're going to fit in.
So there are some new plans. A little further west on Euclid Avenue, near where the Children's Museum is right now, they have a new home, or will be moving to a new home. So there are plans for a high-rise there, which will be great to kind of activate that space and have many people living there. And I think that in that crystal ball, you know, in the next several years, we may see more housing in that kind of western edge a little bit, closer to the Cleveland Clinic, as well as further east, you know, as we even approach East Cleveland, too.
As we look at University Circle, it is continuing to grow, and the downtown area is continuing to grow. In our final 30 seconds, you see, does that generate a lot of business between downtown and University Circle on the east side? Will a lot of energy and synergy grow up between those two spots?
Yeah, I think it's happening, and I think it will continue to happen. It's that midtown area, right, between downtown and uptown, also known as the Health Tech Corridor. We see new businesses moving in there, both small businesses as well as technology-oriented businesses. University Hospitals is making a big commitment to be there, and so, yeah, I think we'll see a lot more
University Hospitals there, Cleveland Clinic there, it's all there. I think we've named as many as we can name in 6.5 minutes.
Thanks, Leon.
Thank you, Laura Kleinman, Vice President of Services for University Circle. 791-3900 is the phone number to her office, or universitycircle.org. More information on everything we're talking about. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
I'll take a break. I'll be right back. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. I'm Leon Bibb. Always glad to have you with us. Bessie's Angels is a local organization that assists young women who are aging out of the foster care program. Founder Tanya Perkins Stoudemeyer is here. She sits on the left, and Danielle Green Welch. Danielle is Emancipation Unit Supervisor with the Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services. She sits on the right. They're going to talk about the mission of Bessie's Angels and the Purple Umbrella Project and their work with young women who are aging out of the foster care system. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Danielle Green Welch, Emancipation Unit Supervisor for the Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services. How big a concern is this of young people, 18 years old, who've been in foster care, aging out of foster care because they've turned adult at 18?
We have every year about 120 young people who will age out of foster care in Cuyahoga County every year from our care Division of Children and Family Services.
The law says they are now adults.
It does.
But as you and I know, 18 does not always make you very wise.
You are absolutely correct.
It takes a little more, sometimes a little more years.
Many.
For most of us, at least it did for me.
Many.
So you're looking for help from organizations who can help bridge the gap? Is that what we're doing?
That's correct. This summer, we kicked off the Purple Umbrella Initiative, which was adopted from Summit County Children's Services, to get services, businesses, resources, employers, and landlords in our community engaged at providing their resources for youth who've aged out of foster care.
You know, I've got a little placard here that you brought me. This is the Purple Umbrella.
That's correct.
And what's that mean?
What that means is this location is saying whatever services or resources we provide, we're willing to make those available for youth who've aged out of the foster care system. And for those who don't have a resource guide, they see that decal and they know, hey, this is somewhere I can go for help. And if all else fails, that organization can reach back to us at the Emancipation Unit for support.
Let's bring Tanya Perkins Stoudemeyer into the conversation. You're founder of Bessie's Angels.
Yes.
Tell me about Bessie's Angels. What's it do?
Bessie's Angels, our goal is to nurture and empower young women who are aging out of foster care. And so we look at young women between the ages of 18 and 21, although we will take younger women and women who are older.
Mm-hmm. Who was Bessie?
Bessie was my grandmother. She was a phenomenal woman. She was an entrepreneur when women weren't. She, in her later years, she had the gift of prophecy and healing. And so she went around the country just praying for people and helping people and just really devoting herself to the care of others.
Obviously, she's been an inspiration for you.
Oh, she really was. Mm-hmm. She really was.
So what happens when a young woman gets involved? And we're talking specifically about women aging out of the process here. What happens when a woman gets involved with Bessie's Angels? What happens?
Well, when a woman gets involved with Bessie's Angels, we teach her soft skills. A lot of times when you go to an employer and you are not dressed appropriately, you don't speak appropriately, then they're not going to say, well, you need to take the earring out of your nose, or maybe we don't like your body language. So we concentrate on soft skills and workshops just so that women can carry on in a professional environment in their everyday lives. Mm-hmm. We want them to be able to talk to their foster parents better. We want them to be able to communicate with people in such a way that they can be successful.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes young people, teenagers and preteens, don't get everything that they need at home if they're in the foster system. Is that what we're saying?
Well, we're saying that, but we're also saying, as you pointed out, young adults at 18 are not prepared. And unfortunately, a young person who's aged out of foster care may not have a mom or an aunt or some other adult supporter to go to teach the soft skills that Tanya's talking about.
So you have allied, you've joined forces.
Absolutely.
Cuyahoga County Division of Children and Family Services and Bessie's Angels have joined forces to bridge that gap.
Yes,
absolutely.
They're working. Yes, as part of the Purple Umbrella, that's one of our services for our young ladies.
This touches your heart.
Oh, it does, because, you know, women have children. And our children are going to be who we are. And so we want to feed girls, we want to mentor girls. In May is Foster Care Month. Mm-hmm. So we're doing something called 30-30. We want professional women to take a girl to lunch. Instead of having a luncheon, meet with a young lady. So we're not going to ask you to mentor her up front, but maybe there's a connection. Mm-hmm. Maybe this young woman will be someone that you will spend time with. Our greater goal is to eventually have transitional housing. Because if her foster mother says you have to leave when you're 18, she's going to need some place to go. We don't want her to land on somebody's couch because she has no place to live.
So people need to link up with you.
Exactly.
As part of it. Let's put a phone number on the screen if we have not already done so. Bessie's Angels, pardon me. at 216-854-0246. We've got that at the bottom of the screen. And the Purple Umbrella Project is 881-5786, the Purple Umbrella Project. Leave us with a thought in our final 30 seconds on why this is vital, especially from your vantage point.
Our young people need the support. It takes a village to raise a child and to support a young adult, and our foster youth are no exception.
Well, thank you so much for what you do, and we think kindly of what your grandmother started when she breathed that inspiration into you.
Thank you.
Your grandmother, Bessie.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate it.
It is our pleasure, because you are both worthwhile people, and you've got a worthwhile thing going.
Thank you.
God bless you both. I'll take a break in a moment. Marsha Mockaby, the Urban League Greater Cleveland, she will join me. Welcome back to the Morning Exchange segment of Kaleidoscope, and so-called because the Morning Exchange segment means Marsha Mockaby joins us in that segment. Hey, Marsha.
Hey, Leon, how are you?
I'm okay. You're doing fine.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. And this is our last chance to plug that very important date that you and I have together on Friday, November the 20th, which is the Urban League's Equal Opportunity Day Luncheon. And this year it's our 25th Equal Opportunity Day.
Is that right? And I've been working with you for a bunch of those years, too.
For a bunch of those years, absolutely. And we're very excited about it. It's going to be at the Westin at 11:30 on that Friday. And our sponsors are Dominion and First Energy, so we got a lot of energy going on there. And we're excited that they're hosting us. And I'll tell you what I'm so excited about, Leon, is people constantly ask, what does the Urban League do? I can guarantee that people who come to the luncheon on the 20th will walk away without having that question anymore. They'll be very clear about what the Urban League does.
You know, when I was a kid growing up looking for a summertime job in between college semesters, my father said, send a letter to the Urban League, because my dad worked on the post office. They get a lot of mail, so you know they're doing something good. See if you can get a job over the Urban League. And I went to the Urban League, and whoever it was in charge in those days, a long time ago, directed me to a job, directed me to a place where I got a job.
That is
They
great.
just said, I'll make a call over there for you, young man.
All
and
right.
we'll see what we can do. That's what the Urban League does.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. People come to us that have jobs to say, can you help us find good workers? And so we're involved in training and connections to employers. Absolutely.
Our final 10 seconds, that's what we're going to be talking about at the EEO Luncheon, November the 20th at the Westin Hotel.
That's exactly right.
Lovely and talented Marsha Mockaby will be there as well. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Leon.
This has been a presentation of News Channel 5's Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.